Now weigh. 9 famous celebrities you won't believe have black African parents. Are you ready to have your mind blown because we're about to take you on a journey of shocking revelations? You won't believe it, but some of your favorite A-list celebrities have deep roots in black African heritage. Yes, you heard that right. Get ready to dive into the unexpected family trees of 9 famous faces. So buckle up and let's get started. Halsey.
You distracted me with the boyfriend question.
Ashley Frangipane, known by her stage name Halsey, is a musician of mixed heritage with a black father and a white mother. Throughout her life, she has frequently encountered inquiries about her racial background due to her physical appearance, which many find to be more aligned with white features, casting doubt on her father's African descent. Halsey has been open about these incidents and has declared, "I look like a white girl, but I don't feel like one. I'm a black woman." This sense of dual identity has significantly influenced her perspective on the concept of identity and how society perceives it. The singer has consistently stressed the significance of acknowledging and embracing her black heritage, pointing out that the societal understanding of what it means to be black is often too restrictive. Halsey argues that this limited view must evolve, and she champions for a more inclusive and diverse portrayal of black people, particularly black women. She has mentioned, "A lot of people try to write off a lot of my experiences because I present white," which underscores the bias she has experienced, including skepticism from others about her racial heritage. Halsey also conveys that the pain of being turned away because of her mixed racial background surpasses the pain of hiding it. She is aware of the benefits that come with being seen as white, but is steadfast in her commitment to leveraging her influence to fight for racial equality. She has remarked, "It's not my place to say way, it's my place to help," showing an understanding of the intricacies of her racial identity and the distinct struggles faced by individuals who may not have the same advantages she possesses. Zendaya.
But I gotta tell you, Jules, meeting you.
Zendaya, the stunning actress recognized for her performances in Spider-Man and Euphoria, carries a rich black ancestry that she is proud to claim. With an African-American father and a mother of German and Irish descent, Zendaya is open about her black identity and the significance of representation in the entertainment industry. "I have my African first name. I have a middle name, that is my mum's middle name, which is French, but we did an African spelling, so it's literally me in a name," she explains, elucidating the cultural significance of her full name. The actress has openly critiqued Hollywood's narrow perspective on what constitutes black beauty. "I'm Hollywood's acceptable version of a black girl," she declared, highlighting the industry's issue with colorism and the imperative to address it. Recognizing her advantage as a light-skinned black woman, Zendaya discusses the variance in experiences among individuals within the black community based on their skin color. Zendaya uses her influence to highlight the range and allure within the African-American community. "As a light-skinned black woman, it's important that I'm using my privilege, my platform, to show you how much beauty there is in the African-American community," she asserts. She is convinced that the diversity and beauty of black individuals are too vast to be encapsulated by a few representations, and she aspires to confront restricted beauty standards and motivate others. Does Zendaya's message of diversity and representation resonate with you? Share your thoughts and comment yes if you agree or no if you disagree. Let's discuss. Zhong Feifei, Winnie. Winnie, whose real name is Zhong Feifei, is a Chinese model and singer with a unique background, being the child of a Congolese father and a Chinese mother. Her path has been fraught with considerable obstacles as a mixed-race person in China's somewhat insular community. She gained fame as a participant on the reality TV series Produce 101, where she displayed her skills and won global acclaim, placing 27th among 101 participants. Winnie has encountered racial discrimination and prejudice on the internet, often because of her mixed racial identity. When confronted with insulting remarks, she retorted, "If you don't know, go down to hell and ask them yourself. I'm a living person who can't answer this question," showing her determination not to be quieted by animosity. Her tenacity has enabled her to shatter barriers in both the modeling and music sectors. Winnie has turned into a renowned model for well-known brands such as Fenty Beauty and Vogue, setting a precedent as the first individual of Black Asian descent to be showcased in Vogue China. In a significant milestone, she was part of the inaugural photoshoot in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for Vogue China's October 2022 edition. Winnie's voyage is more than just about individual triumph. She represents the fight for representation and inclusiveness in the entertainment sphere. She contemplates, "I could bring so many people from different cultural backgrounds together," underscoring her dedication to promoting diversity and comprehension through her influence. Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet, also known by her birth name Lilacoy Moon, is a famous actress best known for her legendary performances in The Cosby Show and A Different World. She is additionally recognized as the former spouse of the musician Lenny Kravitz. Bonet's lineage is a mix of African American and Jewish ancestries, which has had a significant impact on her self-concept and life experiences. This dual heritage took some by surprise as they were not aware of her Black heritage. Bonet faced distinctive hurdles growing up as a biracial individual in the 1970s. In a conversation, she looked back on her childhood saying, "The world wasn't ready for what I represented, the merging of these two races." She often felt disconnected both within her family circle and at school, which led her to cultivate a form of self-defense. Bonet confessed, "I sheltered myself by always withholding a bit, because I didn't always feel safe." Her story underscores the multifaceted nature of racial identity and societal views. Zoe Kravitz, Bonet's daughter, also shared related experiences, discussing her own challenges with identity in a predominantly white setting. She remarked, "I think a lot of that made me want to blend in or not be looked at as Black." Kimora Lee Simmons. Kimora Lee Simmons, a celebrated model and fashion designer, has a distinctive multiracial background due to her Korean-Japanese mother and African-American father. Raised in the predominantly white suburb of Florissant, Missouri, she encountered considerable difficulties as a child of mixed heritage. "I was a mixed-race girl with a Korean-Japanese mother and an African-American father, and none of the other kids at my school were like me," she reminisced. Her notable physical attributes, including her height of 5, so 10 inches by the age of 10, and her unique facial features, set her apart from her classmates and made her a target for relentless teasing and derogatory remarks. "Kids can be cruel. They called me Chinky Giraffe," Simmons remembered. Despite the feelings of loneliness and isolation, Simmons received encouragement from her mother, Joanne Perkins, who urged her to embrace her uniqueness and transform negative experiences into positive ones. "My mother wanted me to turn my tears into something else, something positive," Simmons revealed. This supportive guidance from her mother was instrumental in fostering Simmons's resilience and self-assurance. At 13, Simmons was scouted by a Parisian modeling agency and subsequently signed an exclusive contract with Chanel's fashion legend Karl Lagerfeld. Her modeling triumph defied traditional beauty norms and contributed to a more inclusive representation in the fashion world. As Simmons observed, "Everything people thought was weird about me before was now good. Love this video, show some love with a like and a subscribe. Hate it? A like would still be awesome, and your feedback in the comments will help me improve." Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a globally recognized actor and ex-professional wrestler, proudly acknowledges his multifaceted ancestry that encompasses Black and Samoan lineage. Born on the 2nd of May, 1972 in Hayward, California, Johnson is the offspring of Rocky Johnson, a pioneering Black wrestler renowned for being the first Black Georgia heavyweight champion, and Ata Maivia, who has Samoan heritage. This blend of cultures has significantly influenced Johnson's sense of self and his public image. When it comes to discussing his racial identity, Johnson has openly embraced his mixed heritage. In a tweet, he declared, "I identify as exactly what I am, both, equally proud, Blacks, Samoan." This message demonstrates his dedication to acknowledging and valuing both components of his heritage, defying the idea that an individual must favor one identity over the other. Johnson has also shared how his career in wrestling and in the entertainment industry has gone beyond racial limitations, remarking, "I transcended race in wrestling, so there was no book that way." Johnson's candidness regarding his heritage sets a potent example for numerous individuals. especially those with multiracial backgrounds. He underscores the significance of wholeheartedly accepting all elements of one's identity, rather than succumbing to societal expectations to adhere to a singular mold. His father, Rocky Johnson, was a trailblazer in the wrestling realm and also imparted to Dwayne the significance of taking pride in their ancestry. Dwayne has frequently conveyed his appreciation for his father's impact, stating, "You lived a very full, very hard, barrier-breaking life and left it all in the ring." Ariana Mamiko Miyamoto. Ariana Mamiko Miyamoto, born on the 12th of May 1994, is a pioneering Japanese model and beauty queen who became a trailblazer by being the first person of mixed race to be awarded the title of Miss Universe Japan in 2015. She has an African-American father and a Japanese mother, and she takes pride in her dual heritage, expressing her desire to ensure that biracial children in Japan are accepted as they are. Her decision to participate in the pageant was influenced by a deeply personal tragedy. The suicide of a close biracial friend due to racial bullying propelled Miyamoto to enter the competition as a means to fight against racial discrimination and champion diversity. Miyamoto's early years were marked by considerable struggles associated with her mixed racial background. She recollects an incident from her school days saying, "Whenever the teacher told us to hold hands, other children thought my black skin would rub off on them." These episodes of being ostracized and discriminated against only served to strengthen her determination to be an agent of change. Even after her triumphant win, Miyamoto faced detractors who doubted her Japanese identity and suggested she was not Japanese enough. However, this adverse reaction became a driving force for her, as she stated, "I want to challenge these narrow definitions of beauty and identity." Miyamoto's efforts to promote acceptance are not limited to her own experiences. She seeks to inspire others to celebrate their uniqueness. "I hope that by sharing my story, I can encourage others to fight for inclusivity and acceptance," she declares. Logic. Logic, the celebrated rapper recognized for his complex wordplay and messages that raise awareness about social issues, has encountered skepticism and challenges to his credibility due to his mixed racial heritage. As the child of a black father and a white mother, the visibility of Logic's racial background is not always evident, resulting in detractors asserting that he is not black enough. Despite this, Logic has persistently confronted this critique, highlighting the significance of his black ancestry and the life experiences it has influenced. During a recent conversation with Zane Lowe, Logic conveyed his pride in his identity, saying, "I'm so proud to be who I am, and to have all these people try to tell me that I can't be this. People try to tell me like that, oh, you shouldn't be proud, or you're not this, or you aren't that, or whatever the hell. I'm just kind of here to say, like, who is anybody else to tell me who I am, or what I've gone through, or what I haven't gone through? I've experienced a lot of really terrible things as a child." Logic's narrative reveals the intricate dynamics of racial identity within the music industry and in broader society. His lyrics frequently tackle themes of race and discrimination, striking a chord with both fans and critics. In the track Afrikarian, Logic articulates his mixed racial identity, rapping, "I'm black and I'm white, I'm not like you, I'm not like them, I'm not like you, I'm not like them." In the face of criticism, Logic persists in leveraging his platform to denounce injustice and foster understanding. His musical contributions stand as a testament to the strength of fully embracing one's identity and utilizing one's voice to effect positive transformations in the world. Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz, a prominent actress recognized for her roles in major films like X-Men First Class and the Divergent series, is the child of famous musician Lenny Kravitz and actress Lisa Bonet, which gives her a diverse racial background. Although her appearance may suggest a primarily white heritage, Kravitz has embraced her black ancestry and openly discussed her growing connection with her identity. "The older I get, the more I experience life, I am identifying more and more with being black, and what that means, being more and more proud of that and feeling connected to my roots and my history," she shared with Allure magazine. During her upbringing, Kravitz was educated in predominantly white private schools, which initially caused her to want to assimilate and minimize her black identity. "I identified with white culture, and I wanted to fit in. I didn't identify with black culture, like I didn't like Tyler Perry movies, and I wasn't into hip-hop music. I liked Neil Young, she confessed to Nylon magazine. However, as she grew older, Kravitz had to unbrainwash herself and reconnect with her heritage through various forms of art, including music, film, and literature. Kravitz has also been candid about the microaggressions and derogatory remarks she received about her hair texture, which underscored the subtle racism she has encountered. I felt really insecure about my hair. Relaxing it, putting chemicals in it, plucking my eyebrows really thin, she said, in an interview with the Observer magazine. Presently, Kravitz celebrates her black culture and uses her influence to campaign for increased representation and awareness in the entertainment industry. I ask writers and producers, why don't you have any black people in your film? Why do stories happen to white people and everyone else is a punchline? She questioned in an interview with The Guardian in 2015, wow, right, discovering these 9 amazing celebrities have black African roots was a real eye-opener. It just goes to show, heritage is rich and diverse and it's something to celebrate. What do you think? Comment okay if you're feeling inspired by these stars embracing their heritage. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click that notification bell for more iconic inside content. Let's keep the conversation going and spread the love for all our backgrounds. For all our backgrounds. For all our back. Top 10 male actors with iconic voices.
Bond. James Bond.
Prepare to be mesmerized by the magic of Hollywood's most enchanting voices. Top 10 male actors with iconic voices is not just a list, it's a tribute to the vocal legends who've shaped our cinematic dreams.
When you leave this building, you will be endowed with all my powers.
From chilling baritones to soothing whispers, these voices have the power to shock, move, and thrill. Get ready to discover which actors have the most spellbinding voices in the industry. This is a journey you won't want to miss. 10. Al Pacino. Al Pacino's vocal style is as renowned as his acting, recognized for its potent and frequently boisterous nature that has changed noticeably during his esteemed career.
No mistakes in the tango, Donna. Not like life.
At the beginning of his career in movies like The Godfather, his voice was more understated, but it has grown louder and more likely to raise in volume.
This one time I'll let you ask me about my affairs.
A change some link to his roles in films such as Scarface and Scent of a Woman. Pacino once humorously remarked, "I don't know how to act, but I can yell," which encapsulates the core of his more recent approach to acting. His voice acting is flexible, capable of delivering both stirring speeches and intimidating soliloquies. In Any Given Sunday, he is well known for his line,
"On this team, we fight for that inch,"
where he uses a compelling hushed tone to captivate the audience before bursting into a fervent outcry. This capacity to transition smoothly from a soft murmur to a full-throated shout adds a distinctive layer to his acting. His softer scenes can be as influential as his explosive tirades. Pacino's vocal performance is characterized by a striking intensity, ensuring that every utterance carries significant emotional heft. Whether he is articulating a bone-chilling menace or a rousing appeal to arms, his voice demands notice. 9. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger's vocal signature is as legendary as his cinematic exploits, defined by his unmistakable Austrian inflection that has turned into a hallmark of his identity.
The gentlemen are free to go, but Miss LaRoche...
His resonant, profound voice is an ideal match for his parts as a dynamic hero, enabling him to articulate indelible phrases with a power that holds viewers spellbound.
Welcome to Summerton.
Schwarzenegger once commented, "When I did Terminator," Jim Cameron said, "what made Terminator work and why it became successful is because Schwarzenegger talks like a machine." This distinctive vocal trait not only amplifies his acting, but also lends a lasting effect to even the most ordinary exchanges. His accent frequently introduces an unforeseen comedic twist to intense scenarios, converting potentially plain statements into amusing instances. A prime example is in Kindergarten Cop, where his declaration of "it's not a tumor" has turned into a treasured catchphrase, demonstrating how his accent can bring humor into serious settings.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
Schwarzenegger himself is aware of this, saying, I think that it is a lot of times the way I say it that makes his lines stand out. Furthermore, his voice is intrinsically linked to the emblematic figures he embodies. Phrases like "I'll be back" and "Hasta la vista, baby" have gone beyond their initial context to become societal benchmarks, frequently cited and alluded to across different media platforms.
Hasta la vista, baby.
As he contemplates his career, Schwarzenegger notes, "You never know when you look at a script that this line will be repeated very often." In the end, his extraordinary voice not only shapes his characters but also imprints a permanent legacy on the annals of film. Can you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger without his iconic accent? Share your thoughts and comment yes if you think it's essential to his image, or no if you think he'd still be iconic without it. Let's discuss. 8. Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons is known for having one of the most distinctive voices in modern film, epitomizing the archetypal English gentleman. His voice, marked by a polished pitch, mirrors his roots as a Shakespearean actor with classical training.
That sneaky, dirty little son of a bitch! I'll kill him! I swear on my mother's soul!
Irons has stated, "I think the voice is the most important thing an actor has," underscoring the importance he attributes to vocal performance. His vocal attributes let him move seamlessly from calming to threatening, a range that has made him a popular choice for both virtuous and nefarious roles. In The Lion King, where he provided the voice for the deceitful Scar, his voice radiated a bone-chilling threat, drawing in viewers with its profoundness and force.
Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
On the other hand, his depiction of roles in more complex stories, such as in The French Lieutenant's Woman, displays a softer, more nuanced side of his vocal talent.
You're trespassing! Did you hear what I said?
Get out!
His voice by itself conjures images of nobility and sophistication, making him an ideal candidate for parts that demand a sense of elegance and solemnity. Irons' skill in expressing intricate emotions vocally enhances the realism of his characters, letting him take on roles that vary from the malevolent to the deeply honorable. As he once shared, "I enjoy the challenge of playing characters who are not just one thing." This versatility in his vocal expression not only deepens his performances,
You've been doing that every day for almost 40 years, Sam.
but also solidifies his reputation as a virtuoso in his field, rendering Jeremy Irons' voice a lasting emblem of elegance and intricacy in the realm of acting. 7. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman's voice was a distinctive element of his celebrated career, marked by a profound, echoing British baritone that enthralled audiences globally.
Indeed. Your evidence?
His singular vocal attribute permitted him to shine in an array of roles spanning from the endearingly nefarious Hans Gruber in Die Hard
MBA, Harvard, 1970.
to the cherished Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series.
Who fails to come forward.
Rickman was capable of embodying both antagonists and humorous figures, showcasing an extraordinary adaptability that is rare among actors. A virtuoso in employing dry humor and ironic conveyance, Rickman's voice could transform even the most ordinary phrases into something exceptional. As he humorously stated, "I do take my work seriously, and the way to do that is not to take yourself too seriously." This outlook infused his performances, enabling his characters to convey sincerity and profundity. His voice contributed an impression of command and acumen, rendering his enactments unforgettable and influential. Rickman's knack for imbuing his dialogue with engaging allure is perhaps most evident in his comedic parts, where his delivery frequently converted straightforward conversation into a wellspring of wit. His portrayal of Alexander Dane in Galaxy Quest exemplified this skill as he lamented, "I was a serious actor," a line that captured his self-conscious humor.
By Grabthar's hammer.
In sum, Alan Rickman's voice persists as a treasured inheritance, a smooth, bewitching tone that persists in the memories of devotees. As recognized by Time magazine, Rickman's voice is the kind you'll be able to conjure in your mind 20, 30, or 40 years from now. Love this video? Show some love with a like and a subscribe. Hate it? A like would still be awesome, and your feedback in the comments will help me improve. 6. Vincent Price. Vincent Price's vocal tone is frequently characterized as somber and unnerving, ideally fitting for the genres of horror and suspense. His one-of-a-kind vocal expression had the power to turn any storyline into a creepy encounter, mesmerizing viewers with its peculiar tone and reverberation.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock.
Price himself once admitted, "I have a great love for the macabre," a sentiment mirrored in the disturbing nature of his voice that appeared to resonate with the very core of terror. A prime illustration of his vocal skill is his legendary input to Michael Jackson's Thriller. Price's narrative part imparted a disquieting dimension to the track, cementing its standing as a hallmark in both the music and horror domains. His proficiency in inciting a feeling of apprehension was unrivaled, causing listeners to feel as if they were immersed in a bone-chilling story.
The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years.
Moreover, Price's rendition of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven is renowned, demonstrating his mesmerizing capability to captivate audiences.
Well, upon my soul.
His voice had a rhythmic tempo that not only communicated the poem's somber motifs but also rendered it an unforgettable auditory experience. The Raven became a proof of how his vocal aptitude could elevate written works, transforming a plain recitation into a dramatic enactment. 5. Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's raspy, seasoned voice has evolved into a signature aspect of his identity throughout the years. His vocal tone conveys a resilient, straightforward character that aligns seamlessly with the robust figures he frequently embodies on screen.
I'm gonna have to make some dummy heads, make them out of plaster, or cardboard, or whatever.
As Eastwood has matured, his voice has grown increasingly hoarse, enhancing his rugged image. In a conversation, Eastwood once mentioned, "I guess my voice has gotten a little rougher over the years. It's just part of who I am at this point." Eastwood's vocal delivery is typically succinct and direct, imparting an impression of dominance and control. Regardless of whether he's depicting a law enforcement officer, a gunslinger, or a military veteran, his voice infuses a layer of credibility to his characters.
Alive or dead, it's your choice.
Film critic Roger Ebert observed, "Eastwood's voice is like a gravel road, rough, but it gets you there." This concise delivery can bring a room to silence, as Eastwood's profound, echoing voice draws focus. In a moment from the movie Dirty Harry, Eastwood's role, Harry Callahan articulates a renowned soliloquy in his characteristic manner.
How does murder fit in? When police start becoming their own executioners.
With his hoarse voice and pointed articulation, he utters, "I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself." This instance highlights Eastwood's capacity to utilize his voice to craft an indelible character and articulate a notable line. 4. Sean Connery. Sean Connery's vocal signature is undoubtedly one of the most recognizable and iconic in film history. The smooth, alluring Scottish accent that has become a hallmark of his iconic portrayal of James Bond imparts an air of elegance and cosmopolitanism to all his characters.
I mean, besides chemin de fer.
Golf?
"My voice is my trademark," Connery once remarked, and it's clear why. His profound, echoing tone is both enticing and authoritative, captivating audiences with every utterance. "The name's Bond, James Bond," he pronounced in Dr. No, and the world became enamored with his delivery of that line.
Bond.
James Bond.
Even when speaking in different languages, Connery's unique accent remains prominent. In The Hunt for Red October, he embodied a Russian submarine captain, yet his Scottish brogue was unmistakable. "I am not a Scotsman," he declared in the film. "I am a Russian."
New Parosky.
It's a testament to the strength of his voice that it surpasses language and nationality. Connery's voice has become so iconic that it's challenging to envision anyone else embodying Bond. "He brought an intriguing element to the role," said director Terence Young. "He had a certain allure and sophistication, yet also a certain ruggedness. That ruggedness is apparent in the manner Connery articulates his lines, with a coarse edge that contrasts the character's polished facade. Ultimately, it's Connery's voice that cements him as one of the finest actors of his era. It's a voice that draws attention, enchants the listener, and imprints a lasting impression on the mind. "He was the best Bond ever," said Roger Moore, because he brought an element of peril to the role. And that peril is perpetually present in Connery's voice, a reminder of the influence of this legendary actor. 3. Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken's vocal signature is immediately identifiable, distinguished by a somewhat erratic mode of expression that differentiates him from other performers.
It was first purchased by your great-grandfather during the First World War.
His singular cadence and tempo render his dialogue unforgettable, as he frequently introduces unexpected pauses or accents words in a non-traditional manner. As Walken himself once articulated, "I have a very distinct voice. It's a little bit like a Geiger counter. It clicks along, and then it gets to the good part and goes, bah!" This unique style is further accentuated by Walken's Queens, New York inflection, which imparts a hint of coarseness and credibility to his portrayals.
Eternity, here, in that sagging skin suit.
Walken's voice can embody both humor and unease, often within the same sequence. He is capable of delivering a comedic one-liner with impeccable timing, yet can also provoke a shiver with a solitary line. As he once remarked, "I have a face that lends itself to sardonic and ironic roles." His articulation invests even straightforward lines with an air of enigma and profundity. As he once noted, "I like to say things in a way that makes people think."
Well, you know, it's live. It's like a football game. You know, you get ready and then you don't know it.
Walken's iconic vocal presence has established him as an adored personality in mainstream culture, with enthusiasts frequently mimicking his characteristic delivery. As he once stated, "I'm very flattered when people imitate me. It's a kind of tribute." Whether he's embodying a mobster, a dance educator, or an eccentric character, Walken's voice invariably takes center stage, etching an enduring impression on every scene he features in. 2. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is known for having one of the most memorable voices in film history, marked by a profound, resonant baritone that draws the listener in. His vocal delivery is not only potent and commanding, but also adaptable for roles of both the heroic and the nefarious.
"Bobby and I didn't see you at the presentation of Simba."
As he once insightfully remarked, "If you take a villain like Thulsa Doom or Darth Vader and have fun with it, that destroys the credibility of the character." This comment underscores his appreciation for the solemnity his voice lends to characters, enhancing the impact and gravitas of any performance he is part of. In an impressive display of resilience, Jones overcame a notable childhood speech impediment, a hurdle that almost kept him from speaking for an extended period. He has shared, "One of the hardest things in life is having words in your heart that you can't utter." This personal challenge influenced his path, as he found solace in reading poetry, a pursuit that allowed him to articulate his thoughts without stuttering, and this eventually led to his distinguished career in acting. His voice extends beyond mere sound. It has become a cultural symbol that resonates with audiences of all ages. Whether he is the voice behind Darth Vader in the Star Wars saga or Mufasa in The Lion King,
"Don't know the power of the dark side."
Jones's vocal identity is widely recognized. He has humorously stated, "My voice is for hire," highlighting the adaptability and high demand for his one-of-a-kind vocal abilities. With a career that has spanned more than 6 decades, James Earl Jones has turned his early struggles into an exceptional asset, emerging as a cherished icon whose voice continues to motivate and enthrall audiences across the globe. 1. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is celebrated for his distinctive voice, which has become closely associated with narration, documentaries, and voiceovers. His voice, characterized by its depth, richness, and resonance, is ideally suited to impart a feeling of tranquility, insight, and command.
Sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy.
Freeman's vocal tone carries a comforting, paternal essence that renders him approachable and reliable, enabling him to lead audiences through intricate subjects effortlessly. As he once observed, "You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us." Freeman's vocal expression is simultaneously soothing and solemn, enabling him to address a diverse array of subjects with equal proficiency. Whether he is detailing the thrilling existence of penguins in March of the Penguins, or delving into the enigmas of the cosmos in The Story of God with Morgan Freeman, his voice enchants audiences and simplifies even the most intricate information. As he once asserted, literacy could be the ladder out of poverty, highlighting his conviction in the value of education and comprehension. Freeman's legendary voice has become so intrinsic to mainstream culture that he has even contributed his voice to the character of God in the movies Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. His voice possesses the capacity to transport audiences to different realms and uplift them with stories of human triumph. As he once articulated, "If you want to see a miracle, be a miracle," summarizing the invigorating impact of his language and the sagacity that saturates his every statement. We've journeyed through the vocal charisma of cinema's top male actors, each lending their unique tonal signatures to unforgettable characters. But which voice captivates you the most? Share your picks in the comments. It's time to celebrate the art of the voice. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more iconic content from Iconic Inside. Let's keep the